It began with the Great Depression, the not being able to get out of my bed for 2 or 3 months at a time, except to use the bathroom. Crying, inconsolable crying. If you asked me what I was crying about, I couldn't tell you.
That was Patty Duke talking about her crippling manic depression. Her son, Sean Astin, is back with us. All right, I'm going to go back to the role that you played as a kid, 10 years old. Mommy, please don't hit me, right? And how you were kind of conflicted because it was like, this is kind of what kind of happens in my life for real.
Well, my mom, when she was in her, I think, late 30s, was diagnosed, got a formal diagnosis as, I think it was manic depression then, but bipolar disorder. And that was a seminal moment in her life where she finally felt like there's a name for this experience I'm having, there's medicine, there's like a wellness plan that you can have. And it wasn't a get out of jail free card for her, but it allowed her to be more forgiving of the behavior. She had, if you look up the medical reference for bipolar disorder, she ticked all the boxes. And so she set a mission for the rest of her life to try and share with people what her experience was, to destigmatize getting a diagnosis, seeking help, working to get a treatment. And then, you know, and even though she did all that, and she was incredibly effective communicating with other people, so many people come up to me and say, you know, your mother changed my life, or your mother saved my life, and with her books and her speeches, and she'd go on shows like this with you and talk, and she was so, but it didn't mean she was all better. Right. We still, as a family, had to figure out how to protect ourselves from her when she wasn't.
And take us to, I told you during the commercial break, I worked with someone, I had the job of a lifetime. I loved this job, and I love this one too, but at that time, I thought it couldn't get any better. And we had a boss who was bipolar. We didn't understand it at the time, and sometimes you wanted to just like strangle her, and other times you wanted to hug her and love her through it. But the emotional toll it took on just us in the workplace was, it was crazy.
Well,
and so as a child.
Well, one of the things I talk about with people, and I think I'm effective talking to family members and friends of people, and like you
understand it firsthand.
And say that number one is you have to protect yourself. And that's so hard for people to accept because they love someone and they want to help them and they want to be selfless. And it's like, well, no, if you're not safe, then you're not going to be helpful to anyone else. So it's hard to figure out how to protect yourself without provoking someone. And there's a lot of strategies and there's a lot of help people can get. I know we're going to talk about the Menninger Clinic and stuff, but for me, I actually felt so young, almost like I was the father figure.
Right.
I felt like my job is to try and protect her. And it's hard to be in an abusive situation because she was pretty horribly abusive, but she didn't want to be. Right. So that was the hook for us.
You understood there was something else really making her do that.
The guilt that she would feel after she would have an episode was so powerful that you just wanted to say, like, don't carry that. You don't have to be like that. And it's not easy.
Well,
it's not easy.
With mental illness, that's the hard part. We want people to snap out of it. We want them just to act right. And the fact that so many people kind of don't really pay attention to it or don't give it its credence, we see it in the streets. We see it in our homeless population. We see people, they didn't say, I want to go be homeless. No. They can't function in society.
Her mission was the destigmatizing of even talking about psychiatry or medicine or getting treatment or diagnosed help, that kind of thing. So, and I actually think that she was in the vanguard, certainly of celebrities who talked about that. She was one of the earliest celebrities to talk about bipolar disorder. But I think the mission has been achieved. Now, the average American, I don't think, is unaware of the idea of a mental health community where people are trying to figure out a way forward. So when I say it's not easy, and you have to be honest about that, but it's not hopeless either.
No,
there is the ability to, there are places you can go.
The Menninger Clinic, which you brought, and that is such a gift in this city because it hasn't always been here. People would have to travel to different spots across the country to access the help there. And so that clinic here is amazing. That's why you're here. You're here to talk.
They bring me in for the luncheon.
And I remember, Mattress Mac's daughter, would you love him here, Elizabeth, and he had called several years ago and said, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if she's going to make it through the day. I don't understand this. And at the time, there was no place for him to go here with his daughter. That's somebody who had means. He'd spend money taking care of it, whatever. And so, like your mom, she had means, but still, it's hard no matter.
Yeah, money almost doesn't matter in this world. I mean, it does. You can pay for premier services, and the Menninger Clinic is this incredible example of what's possible when you bring technology and you can provide inpatient and outpatient services and share knowledge. But it's an approach. It's an approach where they spend time with the patients, and people come out of there. I talked to a bunch of them who are like, I don't know what my life would be without that. So in the national conversation, we have to figure out how everybody can have access to that kind of treatment. Right. But at least you can look, and here in Houston, you see the Menninger Clinic, and you sort of go, wow, there is something extraordinary is possible.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah. All right. Other celebrities who've come out, and this is what's important. You know,
well, no. If you talk to the psychiatrist, and I've talked to them, they say as professionals, we can try and communicate the importance of some of these treatments and diagnosis and so forth, but it only means so much. When Mariah Carey comes out, when my mom came out, people who are beloved by, when they've made an emotional connection with the public, when they share their stories, they say that means so much.
Yeah, absolutely. Catherine Zeta-Jones, a whole bit.
Catherine Zeta-Jones, yeah.
Sean, we love you.
Thank
you very much, and thank you for carrying forth your mom's message.
Yeah.
And for more information on Menninger, you can log on to menningerclinic.com, and we'll be doing more things with them in the coming months as well. And also, there's a Patty Duke Mental Health Project. We have a link in our site, so you can get more information on that as well. You can just go to greatdayhouston.com. Thank you all very much for joining us today. Have a great day, and hope to see you again tomorrow. I want to see that tattoo. Where's that tattoo?
Where's that tattoo? Oh my God. Oh, yeah, sorry.